Hello, everybody. This is my mom, my dad, and my brother, and they're going to be my audience for my informative speech. So, the topic I chose for my informative speech is going to be about electric cars. So, there's a quote by Henry Fisker that says the car industry has invested in a lot of hybrid cars, but in his opinion, he believes that electric cars will take over hybrid cars quicker than people think. So, a lot of car companies right now they're trying to make the switch and convert from gas powered cars into electric cars in order to reduce emissions, which is one of the major causes of global warming. Although I'm not an expert about electric cars and know much about them, but I do have family that have electric cars and they say that they're glad that they made the switch. And electric vehicles are growing in popularity and it shows because there's a lot more electric vehicles on the road. And I believe, and many people believe, that it's going to slowly become the primary vehicle of the future. And so in today's speech, I will be talking about the history of electric vehicles, the advantages, disadvantages of electric vehicles, and the future predictions people have for the electric vehicles. So for my first main point, electric vehicles has been around since the 19th century, and it was made by a chemist named William Morrison in the year around 1890, and it was the first electric vehicle that was able to hold up to 6 passengers and it has a top speed of 14 miles per hour. And throughout the years, there has been an increase of electric vehicles due to the amount of knowledge and technology we have to make them a little bit more efficient. And so, with that comes to my next main point, which is the advantages and disadvantages of the electric vehicles. So, for the first advantage of the electric vehicle, it is it costs less to charge the car, but the biggest disadvantage to that would be that it takes longer in order for it to fill up the charge. So a gas powered car could take up to 2 to 3 minutes to fill up the whole tank, while an electric vehicle it will take up 15 to 30 minutes depending on the make and model of the car. And another advantage towards electric vehicles is the maintenance. The maintenance is less complicated than a gas powered car because there's not a lot of mechanicals to it. But the only downside to an electric vehicle is that once it requires maintenance, you have to bring it to a dealership because not a lot of mechanics really know how to work on these cars and know how to do it. And so that brings me to my next main point, which is the future predictions for electric vehicles. So, with technology advancing more and more each year, it gives us the opportunity to learn and understand that electric vehicles are becoming more efficient. So, California just recently approved of the Advanced Clean Air, no, the Advanced Clean Cars 2 rule, which basically implies that by 2035, they're trying to get all the cars that they sell emissions free, which is zero emissions. And I believe, and many people believe, that if California does go through with this, a lot of states will try to follow in its footsteps in order to reduce emissions, to reduce global warming. And so today, you've learned about the history of electric vehicles, the advantages and disadvantages, and the future predictions we have. And I believe this is something that needed to be brought to awareness because electric vehicles, whether you see it or not, will be the future transportation for all of us. And like how I told you, there is no doubt in my mind that electric vehicles will be the future transportation and the primary source of transportation for all of us in the near future.